So in today's episode, this is the highlight clips of people roasting Stacey Abrams on TikTok, and also some people who are agreeing with her in the loss of the Georgia governor candidacy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is some pretty interesting clips, some pretty good opinions, and then we'll come back.
I don't even live in Georgia, but I went on Stacey Abrams' website. Jesus, man. This woman has everything laid out as far as what her plans is for her administration. I'm telling you right now, the number of men that I keep seeing on Twitter or social media talking about, well, I'm not going to vote for her. What has she done for me? Oh, my God. You really like having that boot on your neck, huh? You really want to sit there and have that boot on your neck, and then you want to sit there and beg for scraps and crumbs. Sweetheart, your oppression, your inability to level up does not make you a hero. It makes you a clown. And this is why people can't fucking take you serious. This is why you're being left behind. And it's not just black men. I'm seeing this shit with black women too. I swear to God, some of y'all, the way y'all be talking, you're descendants of slaves that got mad that you were free.
At this point,
all right, hear me out. You know when y'all be having these political discussions and they be like, Democrats and Republicans and blah, blah, blah. You have all this and, change and all those conversations. And you have all these well-meaning white people who swear they're here for change and on the same principles as you. And they're having discussions with you and about being, left, and being a Democrat and believing in these principles. When they're having those conversations with you, I need you to know they're only having those conversations truly with you. 8 by 11 people do not discuss the actual issues with other 8 by 11 people that they know don't agree. So I really need us to realize that part. Your friends are not talking to anyone. They're not.
at this point,
I just got a quick question for white women in the state of Georgia. How does 73% of y'all vote for Brian Kemp? 73% of y'all voted for Brian Kemp, according to the exit polls. They ain't that wrong. 73% of y'all. A man who's actively supporting having some of y'all's rights be taken away. What has Brian Kemp done for you all in the state of Georgia where you looked at a woman who's been fighting for women's rights and rights for people of color and minorities and poor people, and the middle class almost her entire professional career, and decided, nah, we good. We want this same old bullshit. We want Brian Kemp. Somebody tell me why. I need to know.
I keep seeing things like, oh, they're voting against their best interest. They're voting against their best interest. Have you ever thought about the fact that maybe this is like within their interests? Like maybe this is exactly what they want. Maybe they like having everything decided for them. They like having people to do the work they don't want to do. They like having a man that, basically decides everything for them. I've seen TikToks where it's literally like, I'm with my boyfriend and now I don't have to think for myself. Maybe this is literally within their interest to vote Republican. Just something to think about.
Okay, so nothing has changed. Nothing. Absolutely nothing has changed. And, I'm never going to be optimistic about the progression of women in this country, knowing that all I need is an election to know how you truly feel and what you truly think. You're not voting for your womanhood. You vote for your color. Oh. Because, my dear, you know full well that no matter how many laws they pass and what they make illegal and how many rights they take away from you, your punishment will be far less severe than mine, if you are even punished at all. So what am I going to vote for? My life and the rights that I should have, or the rights that you can't have? You know I know what you're doing. Stop playing.
I asked you to cite your source, and it's taking you a while, so I went ahead and found it. Because what you said is wrong. What you meant is that Stacey Abrams is blaming an increasingly familiar boogeyman for Democrats, the dreaded specter of misinformation, which she claims is aimed at black men. Unfortunately, black men have had a very targeted population for misinformation. She is placing the blame on the misinformation that is being fed to black men, not black men. I hope that this lesson in citing sources has helped, and I also hoped that this lesson in reading comprehension has helped. There's one thing I love, it's research. So if you're going to come to me with something, make sure that you can back it fully up.
Like, I'm really getting sick of Charlamagne the God. Like, I think he needs to stick to pop culture and rap and hip hop and all the other shit instead of politics, because I'm sick of his clout chasing, social climbing. Tired of him. Like, the very thing that he did to Kamala Harris when she was running the primaries, the very thing he's doing to Stacey. And it seems like he always builds black women up just to tear them the down. Like, I'm really getting frustrated with his ass. Like, if y'all seen the video, previous video before this, of Roland Martin schooling him, telling him about not allowing lies to stand, he's doing the same thing. Like, I don't know when this video was filmed, but I do know it was aired yesterday, October 6, 2022, to be precise, where he had Killer Mike on, Lord God, Killer Mike, saying that Stacey Abrams isn't doing what she needs to do as far as reaching out to black men, this, that, and the other. She needs to follow or take heed of Brian Kemp, this, that, yada, yada, yada. And Charlamagne just sat there and clapped and said, yeah, whatever. What the Like, September 9th, you held a forum with 21 Savage and Stacey Abrams, and she talked about what she would do as governor as far as black equity, what she would do with criminal justice, and the fact that she wanted to expand Medicaid, knowing that Brian Kemp shut down 6 hospitals in Georgia in 4 years. Like, you were there. You were 2 inches away from her. She was right next to her. And you didn't correct him, saying that, no, there was nothing but black men in the audience. Y'all was at an HBCU. Why would you not correct him? Like, that's that shit I'm talking about. Like, you allow people to jump on your platform and say, oh, the Biden-Harris administration ain't doing shit. But you shitting on them and you don't correct them. This is what's frustrating the hell out of me. Y'all allow people with these large-ass platforms who don't know shit about politics or policy or what anybody in government's doing, to where y'all allow these lies to stand so people believe what you're saying is correct. What you're doing is becoming a deterrent, a voter suppressant. Why That's why I'm frustrated. Anything for clout, anything for engagement, anything for views. How the you say that you're pro-black and you're not doing what you need to do to protect Stacey from bullshit like this? Come on now. Bro, get your life together. Anything to coin for some coin.
And I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
Y'all are really out here saying that not enough black men voted for Stacey Abrams. Before I continue, let me rewind. Hey, sunshine, I'm Dr. Donna Oreo, sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. area, and I know that I don't live in Georgia, but it's still my business. Let me just tell y'all this thing about basic math. Every black person, man, woman, child could have voted in the election, and Stacey still would have lost. Here's why. There are not enough black people to carry this vote, which means that instead of looking to black men as the problem and the reason for Stacey not winning, you should actually be looking at your fellow casual racist white person who continues to vote for regression, who is an enemy of progress. Maybe cast your eyes at them and ask them how they cast their votes. I'm just saying that, the math don't math. And I think that sometimes we are enamored by the idea that black women are the morally unbankrupt, which I think we are, and that black men are so interested in being and being aligned with power that they're not aligned with everything else. And I think that that is a narrative that the larger media has picked up on and is shoving back in some of y'all faces, and basic math then becomes a tenet that you are not used to. I'm gonna need us to back up off it and come to our senses, you know, because math be mathing, and all of everybody could have voted. I'm like, also look at your fellow Latinx vote, because they voted about 50-50. So I'm saying that this is larger than just what black men did or did not do. And I'm gonna need us to stop carrying that narrative and beating it into the ground. All right, loves, tell me what you think. As always, I am very interested. I'll read the comments. Ta.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to the YouTube channel. I'm definitely appreciative of you of stopping by today. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.